Greetings and salutations. This is Ryan, setthepacetriathlon.com, and we're going to settle in for a quick little video on IRONMAN Texas. We're going to talk about the event schedule. I've talked about race week, so we kind of go over the schedule a little bit. I talked about taper week before the race and kind of incorporates that a little bit. So I'm just going to go through and we're going to break down just the event schedule because here we are, March of 2022. For IRONMAN Texas of 2022, they've published the event schedule. So I kind of want to go over the highlights of it and kind of my recommendations of what to hit and what not to hit. If you go into athlete section on the site, go to event schedule, hit the download button, and that will take you to the event schedule. This is also in the athlete guide, so please don't feel like you have to print out separate. And if you're going to print the athlete guide out, because you'll print out the both things and you don't really need them as much. So we're just going to roll through. We're going to talk about the event schedule. So notice this race is on a Saturday. It's a little bit different than most races. It's not on Sunday. So written all over here, no athlete check-in on Friday. So they got athlete check-in Wednesday and Thursday. Ironman Village opens at 10 a.m. Get your bike put together, test it out, make sure everything works. Because if you got problems, you need to get in there sooner than later to get your bike checked because they will fill up fast. I guarantee you, with thousands of athletes doing this race, make sure you get that done. So Ironman Village, that's where you do your check-in. I'd hit that as early as possible. If you can get there Wednesday and get that done as first thing as soon as possible, get all your bags, get all your gear, get all your swag. Go to the Ironman Village. Go to the Ironman store. If you see anything you want, buy it. Don't think it's going to be there Thursday because they run out quick. I know from experience of 2021, after the pandemic and races started coming back, people are grabbing gear. They're hungry for gear, so it's going to be gone. If it's the cool stuff, cool swag, cool hats, and stuff like that, it'll be gone. So make sure you get in there, get what you want. Athlete briefings, they got they got one in Spanish. So they got two in English on Wednesday and then two in English on Thursday. One in Spanish on Wednesday and one in Spanish on Thursday. So make sure you hit at least one of those just to get any little nuances. Even if you've done several Ironman events, it's always good to hit an athlete briefing. And they've been really good about publishing them on the Facebook page. But these days it's they're going back to in person with everything for the most part. So I would definitely go there and try to hit one of the athlete briefings. Time your check-in so you can just go stop over. Usually it's done outdoors and it's over a loudspeaker system. No big deal. It's by transition. It's all there. Just kind of hang out and soak it up and make sure that you are up to speed with any changes gone through the race. On Thursday, it's the same kind of run through, athlete check-in, check-in on Friday, Ironman Village, information tent, all that kind of good stuff, Ironman store, athlete briefings, and then they do have a welcome banquet. So notice for this, they are coming back with a welcome banquet. Some races do it, and some just give you vouchers to go out and get a meal. It's kind of nice. It's kind of interesting. If by chance you happen to have Mike Riley announcing in your event. Usually he's the MC for the banquet. Whoever the announcer is, they're going to be the MC for the banquet. And usually they'll kind of go over stats about the race and some interesting stuff. So I always find it interesting. If I'm not with my family, I'll go to the welcome banquet. It is a little bit much if you got little kids and family and stuff. They make it kind of bored from my experience. So if you're just athletes, if you got an opportunity that you can go and just kind of soak it up without kids, that'd be good. Like I said, I've taken family in the past, and it just didn't pan out as great as you would hope. They got bored pretty quick. So if you want to go and check it out, maybe leave the kids behind if that is a possibility. On Friday, the day before the race, notice they got a practice swim. Not every race has it, but they've got a practice swim. So figure out, find the location North Shore. Make sure you got parking squared away. I would hit that as soon as possible. Get that done. If you wanted to do a practice swim, I highly recommend it if it fits in your schedule, to go out and do it. If you got your wetsuit, if you got your gear, just go out and swim and practice and use all the gear and make sure everything works. Make sure that you're comfortable in the water, in the body of water, because over at IRONMAN Texas, it's a stagnant kind of pond. It's murky and you don't see the bottom. So just get out there, swim around, make sure you're comfortable. They'll have lifeguards and safety, people out and about. So it's not unsafe. It's not just you out swimming in the middle of the water. So it's nice to just go out there and kind of practice and get a feel for it, get a feel for what the water temperature is going to be like, all that kind of fun stuff. So I would definitely recommend getting in the practice swim. Again, they're going to have the Ironman Village open 9 to 3, Ironman store. So, if you find yourself some free time, Definitely wouldn't be walking around too much the day before, but walk around my Ironman Village a little bit, soak up the atmosphere. It's always kind of nice. Mandatory bike gear bag check-in. So you got to bring your bike in, and you got to bring your morning, or not your morning gear. You need to bring in your bike gear bag and your run gear bag. So T1, T2 bags. You do have access to them race morning, so you don't necessarily need everything in there, but you got to bring the bags and got to put them in the place. Probably have something in them so they don't blow away or something. So pay attention to the weather forecast if you need to double bag inside to make sure everything doesn't get wet. If you want to leave it there, or if you want to bring it in race morning, you can. But you got to bring. They will not let you bring the bags in race morning. You have to have the bags there the day before. Then you can bring other stuff in and fill them up. You have access to them on race morning, so it's not a big deal. Then they got 2 more athlete briefings, one in English, one in Spanish if you need it. Race day. Transition opens at 5 a.m. I am always a proponent of being there as soon as transition opens, so I am there before it opens, parking and walking to it. I'd rather be sitting in line and waiting for a little bit for transition to open rather than being stressed out trying to find parking and running behind and wondering if I'm going to get everything situated, because notice there is going to be a little bit, especially for IRONMAN Texas, there's a little bit of walk from transition over to the swim start. So you got to allow for a little bit of that time as well. So transition area open, 5 a.m. to 6:30, personal needs bags, morning clothes bags. So that's where your special needs bags for the bike and for the run. If you got anything in there you want to go, that they take out to the course and halfway stations that you can pick up during the race, that's where you bring them, that's where you drop them off. I've got plenty of videos on the gear bag situation, so you can search that up. 625 pro males, 6:30 pro females, so that's always kind of fun to watch them start. And then 6:40 age group rolling start. So this is not a mass start, so they will have you there at the park, and then they will have 3 or 4 of you go at a time every 5 seconds or so and get into the water. They want you to, I've done videos on the swim start and how to line up for the rolling start, kind of where you think you seed yourself according to speed. Too far in the front, swim fast enough, you can swim over. Too far in the back, if you're a fast swimmer, you're going to be swimming through people. So do try to line yourself up in that rolling start for the swim. Then they got Ironman Village open, so if you got your spectators out and they want to go wander around for a little bit and look at that, it's there. Ironman, the official Ironman store is open. Mandatory gear, bike and gear checkout. So at the end of the race, go back to transition, and then you get all your stuff out. You can't get your bike out until about 5:50 p.m. So be aware of that. Some races will allow you to leave it overnight, but I'm going to suspect that they are not going to allow that because they want to start breaking down 1 a.m. Your stuff's not out of there. They want to start breaking down transition. They want to get everything packed up. So Sunday, they do have the Ironman Village back open, this Ironman store. Usually there used to be, a big run for finisher gear, but these days it's pretty generic. They might change it for 2022 now that races are back on. So pay attention to that. 8 a.m. usually people are lining up a little bit early for kind of specific finishers gear that they didn't put out the days before. So I would go to the Ironman Village, the Ironman store, and just ask, hey, are you going to get special gear, special finishers gear for the day after the race, and then plan accordingly if you want to get some. And then the award ceremony, if you have qualified for Ironman World Championships in 2022, that is slot allocation. You have to be there in person. They are not doing roll downs anymore, so plan on being there in person. So that was a lot, and I ran through it kind of quick, but again, you can download this. There'll be a link in the comments of this video. I've downloaded the 2022 guide and put it on my knowledge base, so you can download it and get an idea of what it looks like and kind of look through it. So with that is the event schedule for Ironman Texas 2022. Again, if you see this on Facebook, give it a thumbs up. If you see it on YouTube, give me a like, give me a subscribe, so you can see future videos on Texas or any other events that I do, or you can see just my tips and tricks. Have any comments, put them in there. Have any questions, put them in the comments. I always get back to them. And with that, I bid you farewell, happy training, and we'll see you out there on race day.